what if my husband doesn't even think I'm attractive in any way, shape, or form?
I'm a believer of destiny, so that is why I'm here today.
Welcome back to Supernova Traveler. If you are new, thank you for joining our Travel Around the World family. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are returning, thank you for your support and share my channel and continue your journey. Today we review Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 1, Countdown to the Meltdown. Alright, let's jump in because you already know I'm late by like 6 episodes and I really need to stop this procrastination. So let's meet our couples. Our couples this year are Clara and Ryan, Brianna and Vincent, Paige and Chris, Virginia and Eric, and we're going to start off with this time with Haley and Jacob. Haley has basically described herself as always a bridesmaid and never a bride. She tells us how she was in this on-again, off-again relationship where the guy had a baby. I don't feel bad because that is to be expected from a situationship and not an actual relationship. She presents herself a bit poorly, as if she is not willing to compromise, which is a red flag for anyone willing to marry because you aren't going to win every battle.
Do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and no one's going to tell me otherwise.
We then meet Jacob, and he is in his late 30s and has just never tied the knot, but he is getting old and he just doesn't want to be alone. He was extremely picky about who he wanted to marry. And
something more like, don't settle kind of thing. And I think I've gotten over that into my 30s.
And did not want to settle. But he seems to have matured and let go of the concept of settling and is ready to make compromises when applicable. Surprisingly enough, both people have a very supportive group of friends and family that are for the experiment.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna feel the most comfortable.
Haley and Jacob seem like they may be a pretty decent match, but Jacob seems so boring. Although at first impression I do actually like Jacob and his obsession with the 80s, if I met him in real life, I may fall asleep while he is talking. I find Haley just as boring as Jacob, but I honestly love boring couples that make it work. After all, I don't need drama. I like watching the couples who actually work, even if it is mundane TV. Haley goes and dress shopping and she chooses a beautiful dress that really suits her. And Chris goes suit shopping and chooses a suit as boring and basic as his personality seems.
I like it. This is a little too much.
That's just a little much.
I'm all in. I think this is a good match thus far. Our next couple is Paige and Chris. Paige is a young and vibrant and seems to have her life together. She says she is ready to love her husband through anything.
I'm ready to love on this man despite all his flaws, despite, whatever the case may be. This is my
thing. But when we talk to her family, they describe her a bit as a nitpicker. So let's see.
I know, this is what I'm saying. I know you and I know how picky you are.
She owns her own property. She rents it out. She is definitely a go-getter and a realtor. The major attribute she is looking for is a God-fearing husband, and he has to want lots of children. We then get introduced to Chris. He was homeless for some time. Then he landed a 6-figure position as a finance manager, and now he owns his own restaurant. They mention his money so much in the episode. I feel like this has influenced his character a lot, and it is not for the better.
She's intelligent, submissive, sexy, good in bed, and a freak.
Chris tells his family he is getting married at first sight, and everyone is a bit shocked, especially his mom, because her face was priceless.
It's courageous. You're brave, and you're crazy.
But they all are supporting. His mom even goes on to say, basically, if you're going to do this, put your all into it. We also find out that Chris, not but 3 months prior, ended an engagement, and he is now jumping into a marriage. So I am wondering about his commitment and if he is a self-involved type person where he just worries about himself and really doesn't give a lot of thought to the people around him or in his space. His friends also call him picky.
So I was engaged twice before, even though my last relationship ended 3 months ago.
My first impressions are that I don't really favor Chris. He looks like he is good for TV, but not really ready for marriage. He starts his conversation off with saying that he's on Married at First Sight because he wants a woman who wants him for him and not for his money. And men who say that are usually men who lead with money. Like, they tell women, oh, I'll buy you this or I'll get you that, but then they're upset when the women are attracted to money. So I have that feeling about him. I know he is financially stable, but after watching the entire episode, I find him a bit emotionally and mentally immature.
My biggest fear is that she is ugly.
She's what?
I also feel that he won't particularly be attracted to Paige. I don't have a solid reason. It's just my feelings, and I may be wrong, and I have 5 more episodes to watch. 6 if you count this upcoming Wednesday, physically, that he think he was going to be matched with. Even though Paige has a beautiful shape and a beautiful face. I just don't think it's for Chris. Now, with this couple in particular, I feel that because Chris makes the type of money that he does, Paige is going to try and put up with anything he throws her way, no matter how funky it may be. All in all, they both meet each other's base qualities on paper. They're God-fearing, and Chris wants 7 kids. So later on in their segment, Chris goes to see a friend to talk about his marriage. I'm not getting into the details of the conversation because I think it was a ploy to make him seem like he's more mature than what he is. Anywho, they both go dress shopping, and they go suit shopping. Paige picks out a very pretty dress, and I actually do like Chris's suit, although I could do without the vest. And that's it. On to our next couple. Our next couple is Clara and Ryan. Clara is young and spunky and seems like the type to have a lot to say about nothing, so she'll always keep the conversation going. She wants to be married because she is tired of dating. She seems a bit quirky and good for TV. Her friends are ready to join the journey with her. And we meet Ryan, who is ready for marriage because he has his life together and wants to enjoy the splendors of life with another person. He is mixed black and white and seems sweet and caring, and I like him. His friends and family all support his decision to get married at first sight.
Same smoothie in the morning, read the same websites, and then I start my work as a project manager for a software company.
So my first impressions of this couple is that Clara won't be that interested in Ryan, but she is going to give it a shot. Ryan seems very loving and romantic, and Clara comes off as a bit of a valley girl who just rushes into things without really thinking it all the way through. If Clara sticks it out, she could grow an attraction to Ryan, but I don't think she will be physically attracted to him at first sight.
What do you think your husband's gonna be like?
She was ethnically ambiguous and like an average 6'6'1".
Which brings me to the day of the wedding. Ryan does something really romantic. He writes a letter to Clara with heartfelt words of excitement about their new journey, and he decides that they should blindfold each other and only see each other for the first time at the altar. He wants to hold each other's hands and build their first connection through touch. Now, although I think this ideal is romantic, I believe Ryan knows he is not what most women expect when they think of their Prince Charming, and he is grasping at whatever straws he can to try to make this marriage work before it even starts. Now again, don't judge me. I've only seen this one episode, and these are just my first impressions. Anywho, before the actual wedding, they go dressed in suit shopping, and Clara is annoying. To be honest, I just think she is one of those people you have to handle in doses.
I don't know if I'm gonna like the silhouette on this, but I'll try it anyway. Just don't know about the bling either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like a blingy person.
Our next couple is Brianna and Vincent. Brianna is an intelligent engineer and she comes off very sweet, but she has already made an issue with the money thing. She wants her husband to make more money than she does.
One, be patient, physically attractive. I would like for my husband to make more than me.
And I'm not quite sure yet how this is going to work out, as they have not had the finance discussion. She mentions other characteristics such as attractiveness and financial stability, but sometimes, as we've seen last season, you can have financial stability, but when the man is not making as much as the woman, some issues seem to arise. Now, Vincent's last relationship ended because he wanted to start his own business, and the woman he was with was not interested in walking with him through that journey. And so Vincent started his business. It seems like it is going very successfully, and hopefully everything works out.
I wanted to start my own business because it's always been my dream. And she wasn't supportive.
My first impressions is that they could possibly make a good couple and that they will hit it off physically and chemically. I'm not sure if Vincent is really ready for marriage, only because he was just too into those strippers at the bachelorette party. Like,
Judge me, right? People are gonna be, oh, he's a ass.
I would avoid them, man. Right.
Like, dude, you're on a TV show. Show some type of restraint. Like, honestly, if I was married at first sight and the whole world saw that clip of how into the stripper he was, I would feel a little embarrassed as his wife. So I think they may wind up having a conversation in the future about Vincent's drinking, and we may find some personality or character traits we as the audience might not like. The final couple I want to speak about is Virginia and Eric. People, this couple is for TV purposes only. I don't know why or how they matched and what is the basis besides trying to give us some TV action. These two are on complete separate sides of the social scale. We meet Virginia, and she is a wild girl. She wants to marry, but she has settlement issues. She goes on this rant about how she doesn't get close to anyone because she won't allow them to leave her.
Fear in the back of my head that they're gonna leave, and I'm not gonna give people the chance to kind of almost have that control over me if I think it's at all a possibility.
So she decided that the show Married at First Sight would solve her problems because obviously there is no such thing as divorce when going to a televised experiment. Now, Virginia's family is not very supportive of the whole idea of Married at First Sight, but her friends are here for her.
So that's kind of been my biggest thing, is like someone who, like, I'm not trying to like settle down right now. Like, I want someone who like wants.
Now, let's go meet Eric. And he is the first divorcee on the show. He introduces himself, and honestly, I don't think the fear of growing old alone is really a good reason to marry, but that's just being desperate, and marriage should not be a Hail Mary consequence of your fear.
One of my biggest fears is to grow old alone. I'm not afraid of much, but that one right there is very...
But he was in the military and is now a pilot and wants someone to spend time and grow old with. His mom is in shock when she finds out his plans, but she gives her advice and she supports him.
Married at First Sight.
OMG. Oh my gosh.
My first impressions of this couple is that I kind of understand why they were matched. Eric's last marriage ended because he was always gone, and Virginia seems to be the type of girl who may be able to be by herself and can withstand him being absent, or maybe even just start traveling with him because she's not ready to settle down and she likes to party. But I think she might be a person who parties a little too hard for Eric. The problem is that socially, they don't match. Look, we don't need Eric to come out his shell. He seems like a completely open guy, just conservative.
Pretty traditional conservative dude. And the other guys are...
You have this young girl on TV stating she is not even ready to settle down, and then she is getting drunk at parties and vomiting in the bathroom. If these aren't red flags, please tell me. I don't think this couple will stay married. If they do, I'd be in such shock. Anywho, Virginia goes dress shopping and she gets a good surprise as her stepmother did show up to support her. She cried.
I would not miss it.
She cries and all is right with the world. Eric goes get a cute suit. It's simple. And that is the end of all of the new couples. Well, thank you for joining me for the first episode of Married at First Sight. Please leave your comments below and hopefully I'll start on other episodes soon. I'm going to try to keep them coming. Remind me to stop procrastinating, you guys. But I'm really on the fence with these couples this year, this season. I only really think right now one will work, and that's actually Haley and Jacob. But I have larger concerns in regards to Haley than Jacob. But we're just starting. We are just starting.